Welcome. Welcome to the Black Expats Podcast. If you're new here, the Black Expats Podcast is that platform that just celebrates the life and journey of Nigerians in diaspora with a focus to inspire, to share, to learn, to grow, and so that you will know that there are people in diaspora who are actually doing things the right way, making progress and inspiring you. This is, of course, both inspiration for those back home in Africa and for those who are already here. Because sometimes when people come over here, they're not exactly sure what to do, where to go from one point to the other. And there's always something in us that is seeking someone like us who has been there, done that, and is doing it. The purpose of the Black Experts platform is to help you, to inspire you when you see somebody who is like you, making progress, doing great things and sharing their mistakes and all. You're not afraid to make mistakes. When something happens, you don't feel alone. You've heard a story or two of what's happened with somebody else and how it turned out well, and you don't feel hopeless, you don't feel frustrated. Life is all a journey. So that's what we're dedicated to doing here. In today's edition, we have Patrick. I'm not going to do so much of an introduction like I usually do. I prefer to allow the speakers to talk about themselves, like it's like you all know, it's an unofficial podcast. So we're just going to learn from Patrick, know what his life and his journey has been in. Patrick is currently in the Netherlands and he's a Nigerian. So yeah, guys, thank you for being here. And this is going to be the last episode for this season and for this quarter, and we'll let you know when the next one is coming. So let's start with Patrick. How was your growing up, Patrick? Talk to us. Tell us let's start with an introduction of yourself before we get to that.
Okay. Yes, my name is Patrick Oche. I'm from Nigeria, Benue State precisely. I like to say that. I'm part of the Benue world. Through school, I studied software engineering with Aptech, a bit unconventional. I just did my 3 years at Aptech, learning about programming languages, and then getting a job from there, and then just keep working in Nigeria all through. Then I got lucky to meet a awesome lady that I love, and then I got married to her, and then after a few periods, we moved to the Netherlands, and we're still in life, like try to do new things every day. So that's my journey so far in just some seconds.
That's the first introduction of a portfolio that is power packed. So we're going to break it down.
Okay.
Tell us about your upbringing. How was it like growing up? What was family like? What was home front like? And how did it shape you to become the person you are today?
Okay, family life. I had a good family life. Like I had good memories of my upbringing, of growing up with my family, and sometimes I have not so fun to say part of it. Also, just like every Nigerian, one part will be that I grew up seeing my dad doing 2 jobs. So my dad, when I came to Lagos in I think 1988, from story he told me, and then he started out working in the factory. I don't know if you know one factory in Ajawa State. He said that's where he started out. Even though he was a smart guy, but he just needed to do something, and just like, he started in the factory, and luckily for him, shortly he got something doing, and then he left there. But even when I was already, knowledgeable enough to know him and say this is my dad, I see him running. He never does one thing at the time, and that's something that I always remember him, that memory in my head for. Where then he will go to the office Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, he goes to I think it's Yabaden or inside a cool market. He'll go and buy suits, and then he tries to dry clean them, make them new, repackage them, put his label on it, and he was reselling it. In fact, his friends know him as a coat seller or suit seller then. And it's amazing where he'll come back, you see him with 1510, and in another 2 weeks, they're all gone. And he would do it in my face, wash them, iron them, and I think I picked the skills of ironing from him. Like, there's nobody that I know that iron more than me. I iron, like, if I iron Mrs. clothes, like new. I ironed very well, because since I see him Saturday, Sunday, he was spending ironing these clothes, packaging them, and the thing is, he had a label for himself. He had this. I wish he was now. I would have taken up that, because it was so. I think it was like maybe over the weekend, the way fathers spend their time in the garden or spend their time doing something. That's what he spend his time doing, going to the market. He will finish this thing in these 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, and he will do everything. And during the week, he will go from, I think his colleagues and other offices that he visits, he try to sell those suits while doing work. So I see him doing that, and I think we all pick up that naturally, because my sister always does something else. Myself too, I can't stay idle without doing something, even though you give me other stuff. So that was something that I learned from him. The rough part of it also was that this happened in family life between my dad and then my mom, and then I had to move from place to place a lot. I lived in Lagos a number of years. I lived in Kaduna. I lived in Abuja briefly. I lived in Benue briefly. I was just everywhere growing up. So this means that I was always changing schools, meeting new friends, and it also affected me having stable friends at this part of my life. So it was just too much. It was just really too much. So that was just the part that I didn't really enjoy growing up.
But how did the two of them, the good and the bad, how did they impact you? Okay, you've talked about how the good part impacted you. What about this other part of not being? How do you think, or how do you feel that it might have impacted or affected, or whether now or sometime later?
When I look at that, what the impact he has on me, I don't know what I would say is positive or negative, but I'm kind of not tied to things. So inside my head, I'm not tied to anything. Like I remember maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I was having a conversation with a friend, and he gave me a very good feedback, and he said, you don't have a habit, there's nothing that I can say Patrick is addicted or is habitual about, nothing like that about you. Like, for example, maybe people are maybe drinking, smoking, maybe a woman going with other girls, or I'm not attached to any stuff. So I'm mobile in my mind. So I'm just, because of that. So that's what I think affected me.
You think it was good? Do you think it's good or bad?
I think it kind of, I think it's good. However, it curtails my emotion from things. So I am not emotionally invested in maybe things easily. And then my wife used to say this. So the opposite side is this: when I'm committed to stuff,
you're fully committed.
So I'm 100 and 0. So if I'm in it, I'm in it. If I'm not in it, I'm not in it. So it just give me that kind of balance. So if I'm trying to say, okay, I'm inside this thing, I'm in it. I think I'm naturally focused on stuff like that. Yeah. So
I see that. Let's talk about your movie. We'll come back to marriage. I want to tie it to something else.
Okay.
So how did you get to the Netherlands? How did you land in the Netherlands? Since all of you want Nigeria to be empty.
Actually, I am one of those people that really didn't see myself living in Nigeria, because just like all of us, naturally naturally, if you're in Nigeria, you're Nigerian, and you really have some glimpse of what's happening on the side of the world, you can clearly see that there's opportunity everywhere in Nigeria. Like, whatever you touch, if you can stick to it, you can work. Like, that was the mindset I had. Like, and I just keep doing stuff, because luckily for me, I had some early wins in my life, so that make me feel like that just give me positivity about Nigeria. So I feel like it was going to be a breeze for me in my life in Nigeria. But the change came, I think, the night of NSAS. The night that video, that the DJ Switch recording happened.
Yeah.
So that night, I think there was one guy that was one of my I wouldn't say one of my employee, but he was working for me, and we're just doing stuff together. His name is Stagey. He was in my place, and that night he said we should go, because it was myself and my fiancée, then which my wife MC were together, and then he was like, let's go down for the protest. I'm like, no, I don't want to go down to protest, because we're in my house. Like, he was trying to convince me to go, because I would drive down, so it would be easy for him. I'm like, no, I don't want to go. And then I think MC was in between going or not going, and I'm like, I don't feel like going. And he said, okay, that he will go. So he left my place that evening, I think at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and then he's going down for the protest that evening. And then they went out for the protest, and my place is like the very high rising that I was living then. So from there, whatever happens, like that entire was happening at that toll gate. Like it was like happening inside our head direct, like we were feeling it. So when around 7:30 ish to 8, it started becoming gunshot. It started becoming like started seeing online, like started trying, like people should join the different different people starting their what's it called, their videos, their live, Instagram live, and then finally a lot of people assembled. I think MC was on the Switch live. Then I was at I think Paul Okoye's live, like one of the P Square guys. I think they were also on live. So I like one of those. Like I wish I had joined and was watching. My head was thinking about the young guy that just left my house. I wasn't thinking about I was thinking about Deji, and this is somebody's only son. Like I'm like, what's happening? And then we saw it. Like we basically watched it on our phone because you can't tell me the story. Like I from where I was living, I was hearing what's happening, and I'm watching it online. I'm like. And then we watched that unfold before us. Then weeks later, we started seeing the things that the media started putting out, how they started
seeing. They made it, right?
Yeah. Then he made it. Yeah, he's fine. Today he's actually doing fantastic for himself. He started ways, I think 1 year after that, after he decided to start his own startup. And he's doing fantastic.
Like, he's in Nigeria.
Yeah, he's in Nigeria. He runs a company called Ship Bubble. Please check it out. It's a good.
What does the company do?
The goal that he has is to try to automate the entire process of delivery automation. Yes, but apart from just the delivery automation, they produce softwares to help you monitor your deliveries and all across board.
Wow.
They're doing what? It's already profitable actually. I spoke with him 2 weeks ago, and he's telling me he's already making good money in dollars. Like, have offices, have about 25 employees now online, and it's a boy of like 24, 25. Yeah. Wow. Deji, I'm very proud of Deji. Yeah, so I was like hearing what the media was saying, and then how the media started downplaying that it was a lie, it never really happened, it was not real. When Deji left that place and he slept in my house, that he came to my house that night with bullets and everything, like it's first-hand experience. I can see it. So what did it then mean to what I think what that night did to me and my fiance, which is MCA, then was like, you know what?
You're not safe here.
The country, I don't really think the country's leadership really has any good intention in stock for people growing up. You can't really settle here. Like, imagine this happens to you, and people that are supposed to be leaders are supposed to take care of you. They try to paint it that nothing really happened. Apart from even trying to paint that nothing really happened, but they're trying to just muscle people into submitting that yes, their reality is the reality, or trying to, for example, we also what happened to the switch that she has to leave the country because of the entire people going after her. So it didn't go down well. Like, you know what? No, I can actually leave now. I felt like it kind of changed it in my head that maybe we can leave. Like before then, my wife, our entire family are in Nigeria. Before then. Like way before then, our entire family is in Nigeria. And she was in Nigeria. She was fine. She's a patriotic Nigerian. She feel like no, she's fine in Nigeria. She wasn't going to travel. Like I've been on the call with dad on several occasions. Like, yeah, me see, like what are you doing in Nigeria? She doesn't want to leave. But that night we were like, no, let's leave this country. Like it switched. Like no, we can't live here. That was the change for me. And then, but I actually also didn't take an active action because people wanted to do. The rave then was people going to school in the UK, people going to school in Canada. I wasn't in the mood to go to school, to leave the country, to go and go to school, to go and do all the stuff. No, I wasn't given to that. And then, so we paid the consultant. Me and MC always try to do something proper. So called a consultant in the UK, and then we paid her for a session, like I think 2 or 3 sessions to consult for us and see how can we go about it. And then she gave us all the options, give us good insight on how to go about it. And we're like, okay, she took us through the school route, took us through the job market route, took us through the route where you can buy citizenship, maybe pay some money about citizenship in Canada and the stuff, took us through this route of entrepreneurship, how you can get to some countries by starting a startup and you have fun. She went in depth and she lectured us all the processes that are available, and we're like, okay. And then I think without discussing, we kind of figure out that okay, this is not for us. What's going to be for us is just two options: either we get a job, or we take a start something and take something down. So those are the two options that we kind of agree. And I was going to work on the startup, of course, and Yemisi was going to do the job. We didn't discuss this, but we just know that mutual understanding that this is what we're going to do. So and then she started, applying. Some weekends we just apply for 2, 3, or 5 jobs, and then 2, 3, or 5 jobs, and as life will have it, she didn't even apply for the job that finally, got us here. So a company, a recruiter reached out to her and said, "Oh, company XYZ, they are looking for somebody like you, like a profile. Are you open to interview for an interview?" She was like, "Yeah, she's open." And then that was as she did the interview, and she had that in the bag. And then another interview came again, and that company still reached out to her again. So at the end of the day, 2 months after that decision that we took, 2 months after that, we kind of have 2 options, 2 countries. Like it was job for 2 countries. Like, where do we go to? And then we decided to, because the good thing was she had 3 months for each for them to even accept their proposal, their offers. So we kind of researched it, and then because if you notice, what changed our mind from staying in the country to leaving the country was because how the country what happened that evening. So it then means that okay, where do we go to that we think is really good for kids, is really good for then that's informed our decision of the Netherlands. Their food is good for kids, the environment is good for kids, like we were okay, this is good, like we could do here. So that's why we choose the Netherlands, and then that's how we decided to be our and then we got here.
That's very intentional. Okay, now let's get it back to marriage. When you as an NSAS, you guys were not married. But
no.
What month did you relocate here?
We relocated here January 20th, 2023.
2023. Okay. 2023. Okay, that was 2 years in between. Okay, all right. But tell us, or let me know. Go ahead of myself. What were your initial challenges when you relocated, and how did you overcome it?
Me, I think I had a soft landing in a way, because coming here with my wife fully employed, then it was just me to just get myself together and get something. So that was a way. And then we landed in the hands of good Nigerians, if I can put it that way. People that were really open to helping us stabilize in the country. So so we were also lucky to have those people, like our cards, housing, all this stuff. We had people that were just giving us the right directions to go. So the real challenge for me initially was the food. We brought our food from Nigeria. We have African stores, but when you go out and you want to eat something, it's totally not what you're used to, so you have to adjust and then try to look at that. That's on the street. And then on the job market, the first 2 months that I was applying, I wasn't getting feedback. I wasn't getting response at all. And I'm like, really? Why? What's happening here? So I got to realize that, okay, in fact, the CV is totally different. I had to figure out that, okay, maybe I have to redo my CV to be totally different. I had to sit down for some weekends. Even my wife and myself had to totally, redo my LinkedIn profile and take a good picture. Just try to totally rebrand, and then those are the challenges of getting initial interviews for those jobs. It was difficult to get an interview the first time. Then when I did these changes, changing my CVs, changing my LinkedIn, updating just my profile online, I didn't have to apply anymore, because I was just getting companies reaching out on LinkedIn. I would say just only LinkedIn. I didn't apply. Even today, I don't apply anymore. Like, if I show you my LinkedIn now, it's just a lot of reach outs. Yeah, of course, I changed my addresses on LinkedIn. Those little things matter. I didn't do those before. So changing my address, putting my address, confirming my address, just doing those things on LinkedIn and online, and kind of just improved my visibility to the job market here. However, the real heartbreak came when I started having those interviews, and then attending those interviews, and then having my heart broken time and time because of some small things that you cannot really learn from reading. You have to experience it.
Do you want to share some of them?
Okay, for example,
As much as you're comfortable.
yeah, of course. For example, the place in the Dutch, like when they interview you, they cannot look beyond the CV, of course, generally, which you expect them to do. But the simplest, the smallest thing that you think is just something that, as a Nigerian, we will look by, like if it doesn't matter, it does matter to them. Let me give you an example. The company, I spoke to the company, and the company gave me an offer, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get back to you on it. And then I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then I came out to them and said, okay, this offer that you gave me, is good, but can you just add 5,000 to the gross, annual gross? Like annual gross, can you just add it to it? That'll be fine. But if you cannot, then I'm okay. And they were like, and the guy, the HR was like, okay, thank you for getting back to us. These, I'll speak to my team and I'll get back to you. And then they called me, they set up the meeting for the following day, and then I joined the meeting and they were like, we gave you this offer because we thought this would be fine for you, but you asked for an additional 5,000 gross, yet, and then you said you can take it if we don't increase it, but you want us to increase it. What we come up with is that because you feel like we should increase it by 5,000, which means we don't feel like increasing it. And if we don't increase it and you take it, it means that you're looking for a job tomorrow. Therefore, we are retracting our offer.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I will take it. Like, no, we take it back from you. And took it back. They took it back. That was, I didn't know what to do. Like, me and MC just went out that night. We just stayed out for almost the entire night. Like, what just happened? So that was an experience. There's another experience also that I had where I also went to another company. I've interviewed like 5 times with them. Interviews with their guy in Vietnam. Not Vietnam. In Taiwan. The guys in China. The guys in the US. The guys in Netherlands. I've gone to their office already. And then he suddenly called me and said, "Oh, you know what? We have an African, a Ugandan guy that works, but he has been on leave all this while. So we're interviewing you and back. So we want you to come to the office once more before we give you the offer, so you can sit and interact and we can have his feedback of how he perceives you, because you're going to work with the same team with him." And I'm like, okay. And I went to the office. The same people that I've interviewed it online. This is a manager. This Ugandan guy. And then after the interview, after the interview, like the whole thing went well, and then the Ugandan guy engaged me, and like he was like that. They told him when he resumed, he saw the mail that they were trying to bring someone in, and they checked my profile and everything in him. Like he has looked me up on LinkedIn and he has saved everything that I think I'm really good at with this. So he was one actually that asked that he wants to meet me before they can go out with the offer. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know that you have this influence here, and that's my goal, like, is to work with you. And yeah. So it didn't further open up. And then the reason why he also did that was because he had worked in Dubai like 7 years ago, and then a Nigerian joined the team while he was there, and then that the Nigerian guy came really overbearing in the team, going above and beyond to really outshine everybody in the team, and that it didn't really rub off well on him, so he didn't want to repeat of it. That's why, because I think he was the manager the team was supposed to join, so that's why he was really like, you know what, he wants to meet the person, so that but he sees my temperament, he sees my outlook to life, because he asked me a lot of questions about Nigeria, and that like he likes me, and that he will okay that I should go out with me. I'm like, okay, yeah, thank you. But it kind of broke my heart that he has that perspective about Nigeria. So I went home. That was a Thursday, expecting that that Thursday, so Friday morning, I should get an offer from this company, because I really wanted this company, because you are involved. It's a small company coming up in the semiconductor world. They're like a building semiconductor for robotics. Like, and I really wanted to, like, I was really happy about it. Like, this is cool. Imagine the prospect of going to Taiwan to do the stuff with them. I really wanted it. And then I think on Friday evening, I got a mail. They're not going to have with me.
Oh. Did they state the reason?
The reason, because They didn't find me team fit. This.
So the guy still went ahead with his fears.
Yeah, he went ahead with his fears. So that kind of those heartbreaks were there. So what did I learn from that? What I learned from that was that sometimes maybe I would have put it differently. I would have declined going for the meeting because it was optional. I would have declined because I've done everything. I'm like, I don't have to be too available.
You couldn't have known.
I couldn't have foreseen it, but maybe I should have just said no to it because I actually used it in my current place of work. Like there's some meeting, like they invited me for some meetings, and I'm like, no, I'm not coming because if I'm not comfortable, I just say that no, I'm not coming because if I didn't go for that meeting, it would have been fine because all I needed to say was that I traveled because that period I also traveled, so I would have said I traveled because I was in Germany for that period, so I would have said, well, I had to come back early for that meeting with the guy, so I would have just stayed back and not come. So it happened. So the thing that I learned was trying to understand how to communicate with them because the minutest of the thing that you think is irrelevant is really important to them. So like you need to be clear, like if you just say what you really mean. If it's something that you can do without, don't say it to them. And if you mean it and stand on it. So like they take those things to their fingers. Yeah,
I agree, the minutest thing, because I think one of the things too. But before I say that, do you think that if you had not gone, you had stood a chance of getting the job?
Yes. If I didn't go, I stood a chance because the two things.
There would be no basis to say you're not a team fit.
No, there would be no basis because the thing is, they've already told me that they like me. They're working on my petition. So when the HR already communicated to me, told me that we are working on your offer already. I'd spoken to the CEO in Taiwan. Like it was a done deal. So in my mind, because what I also understand is that it's not also easy for them to go through the process of interviewing somebody, trying to find somebody. It's not also easy on them to go through the route and find somebody new at the moment. From my experience, looking at hindsight and seeing my experience in the Netherlands, it's not really easy to find somebody that you think this person can do this for me. It's not easy. So if they found that and they are already fine with it, and I told them that I actually traveled, so all I need to say that I'm on holiday, I can't make it. So it would have been a good one. But however, looking at it in hindsight, as a person of faith, I am happy that it didn't work out because I like my life path like now. Yeah. I don't feel bad about it anymore. Looking at it backwards, yeah.
I agree that the minutest things, some things that look seemingly distinct, like hanging out with them, all those things. Like we had a hangout recently at work, and I had an appointment, so I wasn't going to be able to make it. And I was like, okay, I'll still try and see what I can do. But when I checked the distance, it was quite far. But then I spoke with my husband and like, okay, we'll just find a way. And then I tried to schedule the appointments, which miraculously happened, which is not very common in Netherlands. I was able to reschedule 1 hour earlier. And then I told my manager, I said, hey, I'm coming. And then the guy says, oh, the team is very excited. All the way going there, I was like, okay, like, what is, I got there, everybody was really happy. Oh, you came. And in my mind, I'm like, where I'm coming from, it's not like that.
I can relate to this. We had it was like an industry event for people that are into Microsoft Dynamics in the Netherlands. I've forgotten what they call it. We had the event at somewhere in I think Amsterdam. No, not Amsterdam. Maybe Alkmaar. The beauty of the event, I was like, my going was optional. So I even told my team that I might not come. But the day of the event, like I discussed with my wife, like, you're like, just make it, just go. So I called one of my team guys to pick me up, and then the guy agreed to pick me up, and then he picked me up, and then we went down. So he's Pakistan, this guy is Pakistan, and I'm Nigerian, like, that black. And then when we got there, we didn't know that the CEO of the entire group of company from France is going to come down for the event. We met him there. We met, our Netherlands manager, general manager, GM. We met him there too. And how it evolves to was myself and Bilal. They like to play diversity card a lot. We end up becoming the center of everything at the event. So when our company would make presentations, they have Bilal chip in some, some ideas. When they want to make the closing remark from our team, they had me do it. And I could see now we didn't know what was happening there. But after the event, when they were creating the montage for the event, creating the videos after the event, creating the flyers and creating the report from the event, our pictures were the centerpiece of everything about the event. And even to today, I can show you the things that they posted online, even still this week, and they keep referring to those content that they create from there. And you could clearly see the diversity card that they are using. They're using that to play, so it's important to them. So from that event, when I got home, I think the following week, the CEO, the global CEO, my manager, they all try to connect with me on LinkedIn, and that's how it also gave me immediate visibility within the company. It means a lot to connect with them when you go out with them, and sometimes even as small as lunch. When you go out at lunch, it's really important that you come out for lunch with the team. And that's where I struggled the first time, because when I came, of course I wasn't going to miss lunch. I like food, but going to the lunch, the first 3 weeks thereabout, I was trying to feed the food with them, and it was just all bad, and it was not working for me. So my wife and I started preparing food for me to take down. So when I had to go down, for them they call it hot meal. So they have their hot meal in the night. Then in the afternoon, just bread and just anything. So, but myself, I like my hot meal in the afternoon. So I'll go there with my, my jollof rice, my plantain, and then try to microwave it and really heat it up, and it was all eyes on my food. So what I started doing was start inviting them to have a taste. You want to try? Have it and some people try. Some people tried it's really hot. I'm like, yeah, it's hot. So that was the.
I like how so what you did was very, very phenomenal there, because a lot of people try to blend in, which is okay, because that is one area definitely that we can all blend in, and there are other areas too, as in culturally, but you brought your own part and you made it fun, kept your identity in the middle. So that was really fun. Now, talking about jobs, so how did we eventually get to the job part, and how is it going now?
The job part, how did it even come about? Again, I think so again, I always know this about myself, that in my journey, when I want to get something, right, all I need to do is to just decide on it and then put all my effort into it. But the way it always come about is not always through the effort that I'm putting in. I already know that God always has to find a way to get me off the glory or the orchestration. So the same way it works for Yemisi, the company still just reach out to me on LinkedIn oh yeah, we saw your profile and we like you. Are you open for interview? And I'm like, yeah. So they interviewed me that same day, and then the following day okay, can you come to the office the following day? And I'm like, yeah. I went to the office, the Amsterdam office. And they're like, okay. After the afternoon, the guy after the interview, guy said I should wait. He went and made a call. I'm like, you know what? Are you open to going to the Bomol office the following day? And that's the third day. And I'm like, yes. And I went there. And that day, I interviewed me. They gave me the offer that day on spot. So
wow,
that was how swift it went. It went so fast. But after kissing all the frogs, after going through all the not so good experience, having all the experience that really broke my heart, but that went so fast. So
how did you cope I love that. I was going to say sometime when it's God. I was going to say when it is God, it moves very fast, but that's not always the case. But the things of God a lot of times will not stress you a lot of times. But let's leave that. How did you cope being the man on the home front and not having a job? I know Yemisi is a sweetheart, but you in your heart, because as a man, you know how society, which is the right thing, provider, and at least let me not say society, you know how it's supposed to be. How did you cope emotionally, mentally? I know Yemisi will be like, babe, don't worry and all that. I think she goes agree with you, but how did you carry the weight? What was it like for you?
I think the note that I have is that it wasn't the weight, because Yemisi was awesome. It never really come up that I don't have something doing. So it wasn't a thing that I didn't have something doing or that I lacked.
You just wanted to work in the context of being in Europe.
Yeah, so it was just like you're getting busy. Just like, in fact, sometimes at some point, I told you that I was not applying, but she was doing the applications for me in the evenings, so I wasn't even applying. Like, it took time for me to get a job. Like, after like the fifth month, I was already thinking of taking many jobs. And she was like, "Why would you try this? Like, no, don't do it." But the real pressure was not from. The real pressure came from my confidence, because I sort of feel like I accept myself. Like, I know what I do. Like, I feel like I know what I do well. I feel like, how would somebody interview me and not feel like I'm really great at this thing, and then they'll find ways to like say, well, they're not going ahead with you. So it was a confidence thing that was affecting me. And one of the steps that I took to help me with that was, me and MC talked about it, and then feel like, okay, maybe the way I was communicating, because sometimes some feedback that I get is that I speak so fast that they really didn't understand some things that you said, or because of your accent, they really didn't grab everything that you said. So that became a concern. So one of the steps, and I think I would recommend this to anyone that is just moving abroad, or that you're currently, maybe in this position. I decided to enroll for Toastmasters. Yeah,
Wow.
Toastmasters. If Toastmasters is like
Speakers Club.
Speakers Club. Yeah, I enrolled for Toastmasters, and so during
How
this
long
period,
did it for?
I did it all through this period. I did it for like, I think I did it for like 3 months, and I wasn't going for I didn't just apply, I didn't just join a club. We had a club that were going in Amsterdam. So one place in Amsterdam for Friday night, like first and last Friday of the month. We had another club somewhere still in Amsterdam, where we go for Saturday mornings, second Saturdays and third Saturdays. No, second and last Saturdays of the month. Those ones. There's another one again that we go for once in a month somewhere in Amsterdam again. So it was like, I just like, because I don't have enough to write then, so I just lined up the Toastmasters clubs, and I was just going for them to just help myself.
It's international, right?
Oh, it's international. Yeah, it's not local. I didn't meet Nigerian in any of those places.
When I mean international, you didn't have to be able to speak Dutch to join.
Oh no, it was the international ones. Yeah. It was English speaking. Even the Dutch people also joined to just have themselves. You don't speak English well, So it really helped me. It really helped me break the ice easily, because those clubs, there were times that they gave me and MC things to do, and you really like the entire goal was to be able to think on your feet, speak on your feet, and be really coercive, and really, so it really helped me. And after that, I see the improvement in my interviews going forward from there. So I was able to get the questions and really answer it really well, and then get the feedback, like be sure that they really understand you. So I begin to pick my words better, getting out the ums and the it helped me.
Wow. All right. So what was your greatest cultural shock when you relocated?
That I'm black. And I have to be the center of attention, like almost.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the first time I'm hearing that. Well, on this podcast.
Yeah, because naturally, when I go to these offices, and when I go to my office, I was the only black guy there, and then you go for lunch, everybody has to look, and they stare a lot, like just look at you, like, hey, I'm a human being like you, like, I don't. So you go for office events, they look at you. You go for clients, you want to go to client side, they all just look at you also, and they expect you to just say something. They want to hear your perspective. How is it in Nigeria, and how did. So and then the other shock was that I knew Nigeria has an image out there, that the image was not really encouraging, but I didn't know to the depth at which even the common man on the street here know about that image. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you think, yes, we have not so good image out there, but that the common man on the street out here actually knows you, they know you, they know your image, they know that they are aware of it. that was shocking. It was shocking when someone in my team asked me that how are Nigerians really this smart that they keep doing this and doing this and doing this, like, and I'm like, how? I said, you just watch a video of a Nigerian that was able to get money out of a bank in Brazil, the famous guy like that got 200 million naira out of a bank in Brazil to buy an airport in Nigeria. Like, how are we that smart to do that? Like, how does it happen? And I'm like, he was asking it from a smart perspective. He wasn't saying this is your emergency. He was asking like, how, and I didn't know how to answer that. Like, he just got me like,
oh my god.
So those are shocking to realize that. And then the third shock that we notice also, it's both ways. So the first part is that the level at which Christianity has been put under the shelf here, like, it's so shelf that if you go out on the street, it's an in thing. It's good vibes. Like, it's better for you to say that, oh no, I'm not religious. Like, people accept that easily here than to say I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim. In fact, when you said they call it that you're being religion. They don't even say you're Christian or Muslim. They say you're being religious. So so when they look at you like as like somebody like an archaic, like you have an archaic mindset. You look archaic to them. And I've had this discussion several times when during office outing, when we have to go out, and they will always ask me, do you have a preference of meal based on your religion? They actually act like that because they know that we have the Pakistan guy in my team, which is the only company that he doesn't eat halal meat. So they always ask, do you also do? They know that you are not, I'm like, no, I don't.
He doesn't eat halal meat, or he only eats halal meat.
He only eats halal meat. That's what I mean. Like, so they always have to order what you will have separately for him. So the shock is that when you talk to them one-on-one, like, no, it's almost like, I will tell you from my own experience, it's 9 out of 10 that I will tell you don't know. They don't know. They're not religious. They believe in science. Like 9 out of 10. Now that is a shift. Now the reversal, it's really shocking to me, and I don't know. I can't help it. But one of my colleagues had to tell me, like, speak less about religion, and I'm like, I can speak less of it. Like, when they ask me, I'll tell them, like, this is who I am. Because the guy he joined the team newly and he's a Muslim, but I think he has been here longer than myself. Like, he was born here. So he also tried not to say anything about his religion, but I'm open to talking about it. Like, I'm not talking about Jesus, like when they ask about it. And I'm like, in fact, the way they are surprised that you believe in Jesus, that's the way I try to reflect it to them. I'm surprised that you don't believe in Jesus. Like, so it always goes both ways. And the good thing is, they like it. They like someone that can talk, someone that can engaging. Like, you try to like tell them, like, I give it to myself. Like, I'm able to like try to match you in your IQ, like how you're thinking. I can think and resonate with you. Like, let's banter with just thinking, just ideas. So they like it. I have people who are confident that we always look forward to that opportunity to just engage that kind of conversation. So it was really shocking. And then the other shocking part of it is also how Nigerians also, I don't know the other part of the world that Nigerians are, but in the Netherlands, it's also shocking how you also see Nigerians here and how religious they are. Now, this is what I mean. I mean, you expect based on this reality, right, to also try to affect how people also relate, how they also pose themselves with their religion. But no, but Nigerians, we're not. We're really cultural. We're really grounded. So it's good surprise. Like, I'm surprised. I'm actually I like that. Like, if every Nigerian here that you meet, is either they're Muslims, they're Christians. Like, they don't then they don't want to be. Even though we're trying to adapt, but we don't adapt in that direction. We keep who we are to ourselves, and it's like, no, we can't be this. So it's also surprising that we naturally maintain that difference in ourselves.
So it's a strong cultural hold.
Yeah, like, it's a structural hold, and our pastors really hold Nigerians. They hold them for work.
Well, it's good. It's good, especially your pastor is a good pastor.
Especially if he's a good pastor.
Yeah. Well, Well, nice. So we're just going to take a quick dive into Patrick behind the scenes, just a couple of questions, and then we'll come back to some more questions. Not so much. What's your favorite Nigerian dish?
I say it will shock a barnacle.
Why would I be shocked? Isn't it Nigerian food?
But most people will say plantain, but more is a barnacle. Just give me a barnacle. Any day, anytime, I'm good.
Nice.
Let me shock you. When we came back from our trip,
Yeah?
our last vacation, so she wanted to cook, and she told me that she felt like, what do I cook? She said, this is my goat. Let me give him a swallow. So she decided to just make the okra, and I think I went out to go and do something, and I came back, and she's like, I made food. I'm like, what did you make? She said okra. I said, no, you didn't do it. I had to carry it up like, yeah, like I'm going to eat. Like so like you know that this is what you want. I was like, yeah, like, that's how much I love my dinosaur.
In all our explorations, I'm sure you missed it.
Like it was a good way to like,
welcome back home.
Yeah.
Vacation, home is home.
Yeah.
And that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. What song always lifts your spirit?
Songs. So when it comes to song, it's a two-edged sword for me. So I pick words. I listen to words to the depth. So songs like I can't remember the title of the song again, but I can give you chorus or a part of it, like this Bob Marley.
Who sang it?
Bob Marley. Yeah, like this emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear.
You almost sounded like themselves.
Yeah. So what I like about that song is like it's not Christian, it's not Muslim, it's just about
conventional.
So yeah, it's not just someone that sees how the world is being run and sees it at the core. Like so, one, it talks about how the song dispels, slavery, it dispels economic bias that the West have towards some places, some Africans and Europeans. It also dispel you relying on someone else. Like you need to use like it also tells you that everything is inside your head. Like you can actually get out of any space you want. So it's actually uplifting when I listen to it sometimes. And so that song sounds. This was like one of my best songs. I always listen to it. And then also I listen to a lot of Don Moen. I don't know, but my wife says I'm old. Like, but she said that she can tell that was the song I used to know Christ. I'm like, yeah, because I listen to Don Moen like any day, anytime. I listen to it any day, anytime because of the lyrics. The lyrics is what matters to me. So my all-time best composer is Don Moen. Like, in fact, there was a time I was writing song that came out. Like I was aspiring to be Don Moen because that guy's my idol. I like him. I feel he's the most complete man on earth. Like the person that has the best life on earth. That's what I see. Like,
so if you could travel anywhere in the world unrestrained, where would that be?
Wow. Well, my options are really biased, but at the moment I would say Israel.
Why Israel?
Well, I like history. I've read a lot of history, and being a Bible student myself, it's somewhere I think I definitely will do that a lot of times. In the near future, I know I'll visit Israel a lot of times. I know I'm going to visit Israel with my sons, my son or my sons. Like I'm going to walk those paths. Like just travel. Imagine they have places. I know it might be rebuilt, but having the place that they agree to be the tomb of Christ, all those Mount Ararat, like just go around those places and see what I've read over the years. Like go around those places. I want to visit Israel a lot. Like, yeah. So I gladly want to live there and see. I see that entire place as history. Like it's the beginning of history. Like so, yeah. I want to visit there. Of course, I would have said Europe because I'm already in Europe. I'm already traveling around Europe. So Europe is like the foundation of modernity in our own time. So, but I want to go back to the past. Then it has to be Israel. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go on. Coming back to your study, I've heard a little bit quite some about your study part, which is not very conventional, yet
Yeah.
quite inspiring in a time when there is a very typical study path for in Nigeria. Do this, do this, do that. So tell us what your study. Just us a little bit of what your study route was.
My study happened like this. My secondary school, like every typical Nigerian, I wanted to go to the university. Then I put in for JAMB. I choose IFE. My dad tried to process it. I went to IFE for like 3 months because during processing so that I can stay within the environment to understand where I'm going to live. I mean that actually was living there, like going to the campus and seeing everywhere, going to the faculties and seeing everything. This is where I'm going to resume very soon. So it was fine. I have a number of phone call, like that phone business. I have like 3 spots by then that I was running. So I have people staying in places for me. So when I came back to Lagos, I always go around to check people. I became a supervisor, so I go from my boat from boat to boat to see the people working for me. Then then I think I was 18 when I was running that. I had people working for me already by that time. So one of those times I was in Ajawa Estate, that Osdi Plaza. If you go to Osdi Plaza today, I'm sure anybody that was dead knows me. Like, it was there between 2008, 2010. They know me today here. So I went back to Osdi Plaza, and then that fateful day, the rain was falling, and I had one man that came to subscribe for his NEPA bill, subscribe is prepaid, because those people that are living in this high area in Nigeria, then they have prepaid already by then. So he came to subscribe is prepaid in the NEPA office there. So I don't know that he has been noticing me. He's been seeing me under that umbrella in the past. Like I always stay there. You never see me there sitting there without a book. I'm always reading. So he came to me and like, you like reading? I'm like, yeah, thank you, sir. I'm like, what are you reading this time around? And I told him, I showed him what I was reading. And the book I was reading then, I remember it was Rich Dad Poor Dad, this Robert Kiyosaki's book. And I was like, do you know that this book is not applicable in Nigeria? And I'm like, no, it's applicable. And then that question and answer sprang up to become a 2 hours debate. And then I was just hell-bent and defending that it's applicable in Nigeria, and then it was telling me it's not applicable. But when I look back now, I saw that there was one point that he asked, there's a point that he made that day that I couldn't beat. And the point was, if you read this book, one part, Robert Kiyosaki says that he sold, I think, either he moved out of his house or he couldn't rent a place, but somebody that he was living in his car and he was doing his business. That in this Lagos, can you live in your car and do business? If you live in your car, the boys will throw you out of the car in the night and take your car away. So I'm like, yeah, that's the point I cannot beat. So then it goes into like, what am I studying? What am I doing? Like, am I in school? That he sees me off and on here. Like, yeah, I'm trying to process my admission, and this is what I want to study. I wanted to study economics. So that's what I was trying to do in school. And I was like, economics, good. That he likes it. Like, sounds really good. But am I interested in advice? I say, oh yeah, it's not to me that. And this is what he used to get me. He said, if I was in your shoe, if I am you today, if you can take back my life, because to me then I was 39. If I become 17 or 18 or 16 years old like you today, do you know what I would do? I said no. I said I would do software development, programming. I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, that's what I would do. And then I'm like, why? Then he gave me a story of his life and how his friend that he went to school together, he studied agriculture from University of Calabar. And he was doing well for himself, but how his friend came out of that school and then went to Aptech, and then now at that time, he already has his company, he's already doing fantastic for himself. That's what he would do. Wow. He likes me, and I think I should do it. I should live whatever I want to do. I was like, really? And then he's like, yeah. And then he left. And then the second day, he came back and said, what do I think about what he said yesterday? I like it. So he gave me the address of Aptech and says, go to this school and then make an inquiry. Tell your father this is what you want to do. Don't go to university. That's what the guy told me. You wouldn't believe. I went to Aptech, as he said. I saw the school. I saw everything. On my way back, because I already have my own money by that time. I branched Teja. I bought a laptop for myself. I bought internet. I came back. I started learning it that period. I went. I think he gave me the address. So he told me that if I go to Aptech, then I should come to his house and let's discuss it. If I do not go, I should not come to his house. So that weekend, I went to his house. I went to his house with my new laptop. Like, I bought a laptop already. He was like, "Whoa, you took it far." He like so. And then I had to tell my dad that I'm not doing that. I'm not going to come back. I'm not going to IFE. I'm not going back to IFE again. I'm not doing anything like this. I want to do programming. And he was like, the question he asked me that I wouldn't forget is like, Patrick, take our family. Who has not gone to the university that is doing well in life? Who in your family? He told me that even from the Bible, people look at people's life goes in the way of their lineage. Like look, I said you look at my lineage. Who in your family, who in our family is not going to university that wants to do well in life? What's happening to me? Why do I want to say no, this is what I want to do? My mom had to take me to one of my mom called her elder brother that was he just got a new job there and he called me. I went to his office, he spoke to me, and I was bent to what I want to do. That's his elder brother took me to one of his friends, and then they spoke to me. Long story short, the only person that nice supported me was that my mom's elder brother's friend, Uncle Val, his name is Valentine. We went to his office and he was like, "This is what this boy wants to do. Why are you guys not happy for him?" Because he works offshore. So he said that they tried to write a program and then they had to bring a small boy from India to do it for them. And the boy was earning times 3 of what he is earning as an elderly man. That it is what this boy wants to do. Hello, you guys, we should support him. He was the first person that supported what I wanted to do. And then because of that, my dad was thinking maybe I would just try to be another rascal on the street, like I didn't want to go to school again. So we only stopped speaking for like 9 months. But I started learning on my own, and then one of his elder brother, my dad's elder brother, man, came to the house one time and was like, "What are you doing? The life admission is supposed to start. People have resumed, they're always going 1 year, you're still at home. Like, what do you want to do?" And I'm like, "This is what I want to do, Uncle Sparkle." Like, he's calling Sparkle because he's the guy's guy, and like, "This is what I want to do." And I was like, "Okay, I'll talk to your dad." Then it came the following Sunday and said, like, "I've spoken to your dad. I'm going to go to the school myself and do the inquiry myself. If I like it, I'll tell your dad. I'll give your dad feedback." And then he went to the school because he was so confused. Like, "I don't want to go to the university." Like, he was like, it doesn't sound like in their head. Like, what is this saying? So he went to the school and then he came back and told me that actually he went to the school. He likes the school. That it's actually even expensive. He didn't even know that is that it's good. And then that he has also asked his friends around, like, but he thinks it's good that according to him, like, these computer things that we used to work in the office, people that create it, that's what your son wants to do. So that's the way he put it. My dad like, they were like, okay. Then that was the summer. Then he decided to pay, and then my dad decided to pay for the admission, and then I had to start. I started Aptech, I think September 1st or something like that, 2020, 2010 or thereabouts. You see, from 2018 to like 2010, I had to start, like, because I was hell-bent that this is what I want. So that was how I did Aptech. And then, luckily for me, while I was at Aptech already, my guy that was taking the class, his name is Aham. Aham is in Germany now. Was a great guy. Like, he's really good with C#. Like, and I fell in love with the way he teaches. Like, we just connect. So like, yeah, it was my guy. So I think he had a friend that was an HR of a company, and that HR always exploits her relationship with Aham because the company they were like is an emerging software consulting company in Lagos. So she always found a way to have Aham look for the brightest student coming out of the school for her, and then they will employ you cheaply. So I figured out that before myself, she has gotten two other guys through Aham. So that year was my deal. I didn't know. So Aham was like, "Patrick, I got you a job already." I'm like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, this company, they already told me, I already gave you a CV and you're going to go." Like, I'm like, "Why?" Like, that is how he got me a job right from Aptech. So I resumed there, and it was good, and they were paying me like, it was good 50K. So I resumed with, wow, good. Like, I was actually at Aptech, still already started going to the office, those meetings with them while playing Aptech. So that was a good start for me, and that was how the Dynamics journey started. Microsoft Dynamics journey started. So I typed, building plugins for them, and then from there, worked for them for like a year or two, 1.5 years, then got other jobs, and then just keep moving. And then I decided to do my complete my studies, to convert my so after the 3 years, the result that Aptech gave me was an advanced diploma in software engineering, and I made it convert it to a degree. So to convert a degree, there are a number of schools abroad in the US and in the UK precisely. There are a number of schools that you can
do virtual learning.
Enroll with them. You can go in person. You can go down if you want. The schools in the UK, in US, and even in Cyprus, where you can.
Can you give examples?
Like Middlesex, like Huddersfield, like Middlesex, Huddersfield, Bolton, University of Bolton, University of Cyprus.
So they give you degrees right from your home, virtual learning.
They will give you based on your Aptech certificate, your ADSC. They will take that, and then they will make it to be 2 years studies for you automatically, and they will give you like A's with it, depending on your scores, of course. And then you just do the project with them. They'll give you their degree.
Wow.
So that was a good arrangement with that place. And the good thing is, those things didn't matter to my dad. It didn't matter to them at all. They wanted it to go to the university, like proper Nigerian man, like that. Like it didn't matter to me. So I did that. They didn't even know that I did that on my own. I just did that on my own. But I was already making money on my own. So I made all this payment myself. I just did it online myself at my convenience.
But I'm sure he's happy now the way everything turned out.
Oh yeah. He's happy. Like my younger brother is doing the same thing.
Good. Sometimes you just need somebody to break the mold.
Yeah, it was really good. Right. I think I missed some things. I sometimes I still wish maybe because when I met friends, I feel like they went to Unilag, okay, they talk about schools, and I think I kind of missed it. I wish I had this life, but on the other hand, I'm like, just having a phone, because I also have my own phone in my own way, so it just.
I think it's just because you don't have a lot of people that followed your conventional path. So if a group of 10 people were to come together, probably only 2, or 1, and the other 9 followed university. So when they start talking, you're going to feel left out. But the bigger the crowd gets, if you get in a crowd of 1,000, you're likely to see at least 10 people.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's what really. So let's talk about your marriage. How did you meet EMC? How did you, to the extent you're comfortable, of course, how did you convince her to marry you? Because you're one wild visionary, and we're going to come to AngleQuest, which is your first wife or second wife. But how did you convince her to up and follow you? What was the journey like?
So first, let me hear herself too. She's not conventional also.
No, she's not.
She's not conventional also, and she's a woman in her own path. She tries.
She's a still water that runs deep.
Yeah. She wants to be in charge of her own path. She wants to orchestrate her own path. So that's one aside. But I met her at my office in Lagos. Like she came to work for my company as a consultant, and then I knew her company was employed to do something for us, but I didn't know that interested me because I was in the IT department. But they said this body is something for us because my company created an office to manage that project. So we really were not interested in it because they already picked people to be in that team to manage the project. So to implement the SAP for us. So I was not in that team, so I wasn't interested. And then, but we figured that the company had resumed in our office. And then started working. So one day we were just in my office, me and my guys were in our corner, just working and gisting and playing together. And then the coffee table is around our area because that's where we are, so they have to put it close to us. So she came from the office to give them to come and make coffee, and then I was just helping them, do my screen and do my work. I wasn't interested. And then my guys, after she made the coffee and left, my guys were like, "Wow, did you see that fine girl? Like, I was like, I came over like, what are you guys saying? Like, the girl just make coffee. I didn't see her. Like, oh, she works in XYZ's office. I'm like, oh, good. So, put my head down and started working. I'm like, oh, okay. I just stood up, make coffee. I make coffee for like, can I go and see this girl? You know, sharp guy. I like, okay, let me scroll down to the office that she was. Because they mentioned the office, so I went to the office and I saw her like, I greeted my colleague she was working in his office. He said, man, I'm like, hey, I actually came here for this girl. He was like, really? I'm like, yeah, that everybody in my office, they're talking about this girl. She just made coffee and they're all
Oh my.
going crazy. I'm like, let me come and see her myself. The guy was like, really? And then she just started laughing, just burst laughing. Like, I was like, yeah, like, they're just talking about you. And then I went close to her, like, talked to her, shook her hand, and then, yeah, like, how are you doing? She said she's fine. Just gave me a brief story about herself. And I'm like, oh, good. I'm really happy that you're young and doing this thing like this. Like, yeah, like, yeah, you're good. Like, she said, yeah. So, I'm like, okay, I'm going, but I just came to shoot my shot. Like, I said it that way. Like, I'm going, but I came to shoot my shot. Like, I'm going. And then I said that, the colleague was like, just laughed. He just laughed. He was like, Patrick. And I'm like, do I have to lie? He's like, no, you don't have to lie. I'm like, yeah. So I left. I went back to my seat and I, wait.
You don't collect her down.
I told this girl I came to shoot my shot. So where's the number? I stood up back. I went back. I told her that, do you know why I came back? She's like, no. I'm like, I told you I came to shoot my shot. I didn't have your number. Please, can I have your number? She was like, yeah. At this point, my colleague, he was laughing at his lungs, like, what is happening in my office today? Like, what is happening here? So she gave me a number and then started chatting. We started off like just chatting and then friends. I would offer to drop her off to like no, like first few weeks, like no one, like just trying to meet up because the office also have lunch. So when she came for lunch, if I see her at lunch, I just say hi and I just usually talk and sometimes I drop some chats. She responds and then it begins to. I think one day like that I came to the office really late. I came to the office like 11 a.m. and then she was already in the office. And then I think I came to the reception, started reception and just got talking and then she gave me her phone. I took some pictures there and like it just happened like at every point that we meet, just started getting closer and closer and closer. With conversations and activities trying to align. And then one time like that, she asked for me to drop her off at home. And I dropped her. And I think I dropped her from VI to her place. And about it took off like typical Lagos day, like 1 hour 30 minutes. And it took her place like 9:30ish. And then she went inside and once I was in the car, and then she came out. She came back and we just in my car that night till like 12:30 a.m. Yeah, and she went back and I drove home and we repeated the same thing the following day. So she resumed to my office to finish work and I'll come back. And that was just advance quickly, like after like 2 or 3 weeks. So then we started dating. Then we did that for like I think 2 years plus. Then how did we get married now? I can't remember. I can't remember that. Oh, this was what happened that I made up my mind I was going to marry this girl. I can't actually remember, but I think of course I prayed about it and I want to get married. I actually like this person. Okay. So what I did was because she knows me too. Because when I'm all in also school, because during that period too, I was already meeting her brother, her sister, that was also in Nigeria, that was also going to travel. And then I think her parents were around that period too. I met the dad, met the mom. I think I even went to the one traveling to the airport. I was just getting to know the family more, and they were getting to know me more. And even the dad even have a nickname for me, even right from just seeing me, like me and them are just like just connect. So the dad on my page, like he just like this is you are the one good of my daughter, but daughter is in your hand in this Nigeria. So we kind of just became close quickly, and then it was easier that way. And then I can't remember honestly, but I knew so this is what happened. At one time I was supposed to visit my dad at the kitchen, and I'm like, you know what, would you go with me? So like, yeah. And then and then I went. And then one Saturday morning, I drove to her house, pick her, and then we drove 7 hours all the way from Lagos to Ekiti. I mean, 8 hours there, but we drove without even knowing Ekiti. It was put the map, and then we used the map from Lagos. That's it. And then we went to my dad's place. We stayed in my dad's place for like 2 days. And then I'm always proud to say that I took her to our village for the first time. So she didn't make it because she never visited it. It was so when we went to our father's compound, like our grandpa's compound, we did a video, and then the dad's elder brother that was still in the place, Uncle George. He went to see Uncle George. The one was Uncle George's place. He had to call the father. And the father was like, Ibolewa. I'm like, Dad, we are in your village. We're like, how did you get to my village? I'm like, let me see, mention the name. And I'm like, don't worry, just go to that. We just she hasn't gone there before, but she just mentioned the name, and then we find the map, got there, and we started asking people,
wow,
this is the family we're going to, and we're like, yeah, this is the house. We found the house, and
wow.
The uncle was like, come inside. An old man like has the servant, the security guys took us to go and meet the uncle inside, and I was like, he was like, you say you're the daughter of who? He said, what's his name again? Akinyemi. He said, Akinyemi. Oh, Akinyemi. He said, yeah. You now have to call the father on the phone. Father said, it was like, whoa. So like that was how we got there. And then
you just told yourself to the family.
Yeah,
was that very intentional? Was that intentional? Because you just. It was that was
no, meeting my dad was intentional because I wanted to
you meeting her family, because even if she says she's not doing it again, her father will be like, what?
Well, it's also part of me to also trying to sell myself. I was also selling. I was also selling.
Okay.
So we went, and then we saw everybody there, and then it was easier. Then I think we came back after like 1 or 2 months, and I had to call the dad. I told the dad and the mom. I called the mom for them today. But I think after Sunday, after service one day, I just came out and I called the mom like, I have intention of proposing to your daughter. Are you fine? Like, just discuss it. She like,
wow.
Yeah, she said she's fine. I think like, then I can call daddy and security, and then I called the husband. So I called. And he was like, he told me that he has waiting for the day I would say it. He has to wait, so like, and then he was like, yeah, it was on my page, and then of course I already told my dad when I wanted to my dad already. My dad already knew on the side, so and then I already to my mom, so I just proposed. I arranged the proposal, and then I did the proposal, and then the rest of history. So just like that.
Nice. Okay, that was I love that first part, especially. Let's run through some questions to know how Nigerian and how Dutch you are. Yes. Mm-hmm. What's the most widely spoken ethnic language in Nigeria?
Widely spoken ethnic language
in Nigeria
is Hausa.
Which Nigerian city is known as the Teen City?
The what?
What Nigerian city is known as the Teen City?
Teen.
Tin, Tin.
I don't know. I would say Tinkan Island. Is it Lagos? I don't know.
No. That's just. What's the traditional attire worn by the Yoruba people? What's the name?
Is it Buba? Ashoki.
Yeah. Ashoki, yeah. What's the Nigerian Nobel laureate who won the Nobel Prize Literature in 1986?
Right?
Yeah. What's the name of the popular Nigerian dish made with rice, tomatoes, and spices?
Jollof rice.
Who is the pioneer of Afrobeat in Nigeria?
My guy Fela.
Which state bears a border with Cameroon?
Akwa Ibom, right? Yeah, Akwa Ibom.
Which Asian city is famous for its bronze sculptures?
Bronze sculptures?
Yeah.
Benin Kingdom.
What's the name of Nigerian film industry? If you don't know that one.
Nollywood. Yeah, no.
I'm not saying if you don't know that one. Who was the first president of Nigeria?
The first president. Okay, so military president or civilian president?
Civilian.
Obasanjo, yes.
No. Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I know it's like, damn. Yeah. Sorry.
No, they asked me on the number, I won't even. I won't even.
That's why I have to differentiate, but I know that 1999 but yeah.
No, not that. Yeah. First, yeah. What's the cold city of Nigeria?
Cold city, Enugu.
Nice. Okay, so you that's about 70-75% pass mark. Nice. So let's see how Dutchy you are. What's the capital city of Netherlands?
Den Haag?
The capital city of Netherlands.
Amsterdam. Sorry.
What's the political capital?
Den Haag, yeah.
What's the commercial capital?
Utrecht? So Rotterdam?
Yes, Rotterdam.
Yeah, Rotterdam.
What's the most the famous flower for Netherlands? What's the flower Netherlands is known for?
You can help me. You can help with the place.
Yeah, you're getting close. What are the flowers in Kukenhof?
Tulip?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the official color of the Dutch royal family, Netherlands?
Orange.
As in, what's the name of the Dutch airline?
KLM.
Nice. On what day is the King's Day celebrated?
The King's Day moves. Is not December.
No, the particular date.
The date. No, the date moves. Okay, so this is my understanding.
It doesn't move.
It's the birthday of the current king.
The birthday. Okay, what's the birthday of the current king?
I'm trying to find an excuse not to get it wrong. Okay, yes.
It's April 27th.
Oh, I wanted to say April 29th, 27th. Okay.
So you got 80%. You're more Dutchy than you're Nigerian.
No.
All right, so let's go to the last part of the question. You currently have a second wife that Yemisi has agreed. The reason that you don't sleep at night, but let's not expound on that.
Okay.
And it's beautiful because you're doing something that it's going to serve a lot of markets. Of course, it's still in the building stage and all that, but I love all the things you're doing about it. Can you tell us more about AngleQuest? As briefly as you can, but more. Yeah.
So AngleQuest is a product that I came up with out of my struggle trying to find my feet in Netherlands. So during the time of trying to look for a job and then getting the job, so I see how I was working in Nigeria, I see how I got to the market and how I was struggling. I see how I got the job and I want a job, and I'm seeing how my early struggles, and I'm seeing that I see how I got the job. So I figure out that there's a gap in the space that the product can solve. So the initial idea was that, okay, first, because from Nigeria, I came to this new land and I'm trying to get a job. So my initial struggle, I told you, was trying to do my interviews well. Because I know my stuff, give me the system, I can do what I do, you'll be blown away. But of course, you have to communicate, you have to sell yourself. Nobody's interested in giving you, they don't talk to you first. How to understand I was not doing that well. So the first idea was like, you know what, let me build a platform that can help experts to prepare for an interview. So the platform was going to give you experts that will interview you before you go for another interview. That was the first idea, the first initial topic. Let's do it like that. That was what I thought. Which that feature is still inside what I'm building. The idea quickly metamorphosed, quickly add up, because when I did that, this is a struggle that someone that comes to the Netherlands really has. But what are the other things that people also struggle with when you get on the job? So I figured out that people can, if people have an opportunity to have a support on the job that you just started, to be awesome. For example, starting a new role at maybe an SAP or an Azure developer or an Azure infrastructure person, whatever really fit in a new land like this. What if you have a platform where first they can interview you to prepare for the interview, and if you get the interview, your platform also has some features that if you are struggling on the job, right, you have an expert that will be able to you that can help you to bail you out of your day-to-day struggle at work. Maybe you're hooked with an error, you're hooked with something you cannot do, somebody that can talk to you, help you, bail you out. That's the feature that we have on our platform. Or because of the way I got my job to, it was a secondment, so they employed me and they seconded to another company. So which means they just took you and then they employ you to another company, and then you don't have a cycle, you don't have any base, you need to talk to anything. So what is this? It's also a software that is also a platform where you can belong to a particular group, people that are doing what you're doing, and you can learn every day from them. Because at the end of the day, what I notice about this market here, they are very, very interested in the new knowledge. So yes, you can know what the software does 3 or 5 years back, but they want you to be able to apply the new feature that came out today. They want to do it. They want to push it. They want to always look like they want to be the best. They want to use the new things that are out. So what if you have a place where you can do this? And then so putting all this together and other things, I decided, okay, you know what, I will then build a tool called AngleQuest, where what we're doing now is as an individual expert, you can suppose I'm AngleQuest to be your personal support system in terms of helping you getting to do your work well, to do your exceptional work well. So because of course we all face challenges. Work. That's why it's work. It's not breeze. It's not easy. So you have to find a way to do it. But with AngleQuest, we can help you when you have a blocker at work. We help you we help you with your learning, how you can learn quickly. We help you. In fact, I mixed the big thing, the first big feature of the application, which is as an expert also you want to grow. You don't want to stay where you are. You want to grow and master where you are. So what we do first also, we will also be able to develop our own AI model that can also first analyze either through your CV or through questionnaire. Either you can choose to put your CV or choose to take a questionnaire, and the AI will analyze and tell you where you are and the gaps where you need to go to, and create different roadmap for you in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 15 months. Decide to also give you learning references, gives you certifications to take, also partner you with an expert that will also further create a personalized growth plan with you. So this is also the first part. So see that as an expert, if you don't have a job, you can create this for you with any new field you want to move to. And if you're currently in the field, we can do this for you to make you better on that field. And if you are also already if you are good in the field, if you want to move to the next stage, we can also help you move there with this product. So that's what I'm trying to build. And the market here is really awesome. Again, as I said, it's born out of my understanding of where I was coming from in Nigeria, the journey that I took to get a job while I'm here, and then the early struggles that I faced even while I work here. And I see that this could be a product that can help experts, both the ones here and then the ones that came from abroad, to do better at work here.
I mean, I know a lot more about AngleQuest, and the work you're doing is very phenomenal. And guys, if you're listening to this, when is AngleQuest launching?
I would say
not full launch, but like when can people now try it?
Available? Yeah, you can actually go to AngleQuest to use from, I would say, categorically from the end of September.
Okay, that means by the time you're seeing this video, guys, AngleQuest would just about be ready to try out. So it's something you really want to get on. I'm personally looking forward to it. I love the part of the feature where it can help you, give you suggestions on where to go when you're switching. I really love that.
Yes.
All right, so the last part of the question before we come to the end of everything: what's upcoming, what's on the radar, or are you sold to AngleQuest for now, nothing more, as the man of focus that you are?
Yes, so for now and in the nearest future, which is now 2 to 3 years, I think I definitely will focus on AngleQuest. I said just last week I spoke to someone that was pushing me to do something that has to just be the version of AngleQuest that has to do with community. And I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. So, and he's encouraging me to really do that. So because of this, I definitely know that I will focus on doing, improving it and trying to sell it and trying to market it and trying to get it out there to help people and also make some impact within the near future. So at the moment, no project on site that I'm going to take on. I want to just do this.
Your work is really inspiring. Super well done. To round it all off, I'm going to ask you what your favorite books are, your 3 favorite books, and then I'm going to ask you to tell us 2 truths and a lie about you. So the whole idea of this is that when the audience listens, they're going to try and guess which is the truth and which is the lie. Okay. And the first 2 people to put their answers in the comments will get autographed copies of the book that you said is your your best books. So they have to choose between the books. You can give 2, you can give 3. So they will choose one. So what we'll do, we get the book, we'll send it to you to sign, and then return it with a note to them, and then we'll send it to them. So which are your best books?
Any time, I always say borrow and bring us.
I know.
Any time, I always say borrow and bring us. For number 2, I would say Niccolo Machiavelli.
What's the name of the book?
Machiavelli, famous book. It's called The Prince. Yeah, The Prince.
The Prince.
The Prince. Yes, The Prince. It's a political book. However, it's really applicable to relationships. It's really applicable to building stuff. It's applicable to a lot of things. So, all time, I'll say these are my top 3. So, Brilliance, Machiavelli, books called The Prince, and then Mastery by God Green. Yeah.
Mastery is really good. You have to read it though with a matured mind. If not, you become a manipulator. Mastery. Oh my God, that book. Oh my God, that guy is another level. He also wrote for 3 Levels of Power. That guy is. If you enter into that guy's book, you will be.
It's possessive. The book can possess you.
Oh my! I read the book halfway, and the person that introduced that book to me is a Christian. I was sending her a message like, "Babe, I beg, if you want to tell someone to read this book, make sure the person is grounded spiritually." Because, but yeah, I totally agree with you. It's a really good book. Just yeah. Okay, so what are the 2 truths and a lie about you?
2 truths and a lie. 2 truths and a lie. 2 truths and a lie. Okay, so how do I put it? Do I just say, I just say 3 things and you have to...
Yeah, say random 3 things and you have to tell us, you have to tell which one is the truth and which one is the lie.
Okay, so my parents, my mom is Yoruba, my dad is Benue. Okay, secondly, first country I ever visited is Cotonou. Yeah. Cotonou, Benin Republic. Cotonou is the capital, sorry, Benin Republic. Then my first car was a Honda Civic.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. So you have it. The 2 truths and a lie. So the first 2 people to guess, you choose between The Prince, Mastery, and Borrowing Brilliance, and we would get an autographed copy right across to you. Patrick, before we round off, I didn't mention this earlier, but I just thought, because you're such a huge force, when I say this, people might be wondering, okay, but Patrick is a force going somewhere. Like, you literally need to sit with him. I tell people that when you sit with Patrick, you better hold your fort, because Patrick will take you like this and then bring you back to the center. He's very visionary. What's your advice for someone looking to build something, looking to make an impact with their life? If you're going to give an advice under 2 to 3 sentences, someone meets you and like, oh, I'm starting out, let's say I just graduated from school, this is where I want to be in the next 5-10 years, what is that go-to advice you tell them, also known as what you would have told your 20-year-old self?
Very easily that comes to my mind is, which is what I'm telling my younger ones now, is it doesn't matter whatever you like, just like you have to just get focused on something. So if it is tailoring that you like, if it is programming that you like, if it is radio, if it is editing, marketing, whatever you just like, don't do any of that, just focus on that. And focus on that and do it with the whole of your mind. Do it with a global mindset. Just do it. Do it and empty yourself into it. Like, the way life works, what I discovered, like life, people say there's no job in Nigeria, and people say there's job in Europe, people say all these things. It doesn't matter. It is to the degree of your abilities that life opens up to you. So it's all about your awareness, and your awareness about your knowledge. So when you know more about something, you become aware of more in that space, and you can tap into more. So all you need to do is just improve your awareness by learning more about that thing that you are learning, that you picked. most of us get confused. Like you want to do this, you want to do this, and then time goes by quickly. But if you make up your mind quickly and pick one thing and focus on it, and you get more aware of it, and you get to know more about it, you can do a lot about it. I'm following a young Nigerian. His name is Olamito or something. I can't pronounce his name well, but what does he do? He paints, right? He draws and paints. And what the guy just did is that he figured out how to make it have 3D effects. So where the painting, if you put your camera on the painting, then the painting has effect. For example, he paints a whiskey, paints whiskey. Then when you put camera on whiskey, you see birds flying from his shoulder and perching back. And then he paints Lagos street or Oshodi, like the old Oshodi, with yellow buses and people running around. And then when you put your camera, you see rain falling. And this guy is on CNN. This guy is some of his paintings. This is someone. Okay, I mentioned Deji at the start, right? This is the guy is Deji's friend. So Deji is doing software, but the guy is just doing painting. I have some of his paintings in my house in Lagos. He's a street boy, just local street boy. As I'm talking to you, I think last week there's a place in France that he's taking his walk from the streets of Lagos to go and show those paintings out there. Like that's the reality of life. That's the reality of life.
Yes, that way man diligent in his work.
Just take it, just one thing and just focus on and expand it. You get to. There's growing up. I listened to this story from Pastor Sam, and I never forget it. This thing is buried in my subconscious. He says that if you're traveling on Nigeria roads, right, you see those people that will carry bushmeat. They're selling it by the side of the road. When you're doing journeying, like intercity journey in Nigeria, maybe you're going from Lagos to Ibadan or from Lagos to Benin or something, or when you're passing through Ibadan or passing through Kwara State, you see people that sells those meat, those bush meat on the road. Yeah. Right now, if you see somebody selling a porcupine that, let's take porcupine as an example, porcupine that is person just caught and in his life, you can see the blood coming out of it, and person telling you to come and buy it. If you stop on the road to price that porcupine, the person can tell you pay 3,000 or max pay 5,000 for that porcupine, and you will pay for it. On that same road, if you're traveling, you see somebody holding the porcupine, the same porcupine that you saw somebody used to buy 5K, that the person got it is still fresh from the kill. But that same road, and you see the next person that holds the porcupine, the person has roasted the porcupine. The person cut the porcupine and has roasted it. He will tell you, buy the porcupine. That person's starting price is 10,000, 15,000. Because
they roasted it.
Yeah.
Because it's fine if I'm fine-tuned.
Yes. So he said that what he figured out about us that we don't roast our game. So that is in my head. I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. So again, still boiling to what I've said. Just speak one thing. Hit it at whatever it is, is the place. Right? That's what I'll say.
Wow, it's been an amazing 1 hour 44 minutes speaking with you, Patrick. And I want to say a very big thank you again for coming, inspiring us with your journey. We spoke about how you started out, your moving to Netherlands, your motivation, the challenges and how you overcame them, your unconventional study path that has worked out for you, like proving that, sometimes really just follow your heart. A lot of times, I love the determination, and then how your father growing up impacted you, and even the seemingly negative experiences have helped you. And we spoke about marriage, and we spoke about your baby. I prefer to call it baby, you don't have to wives. AngleQuest, and I'm really looking forward to it. And also we talked about your favorite books, and we'll send out the copies to your guests. I want to say again thank you, and also thank you to your phenomenal wife for making this possible. Yes, because behind every successful man is a wonderful, successful woman. We look forward to seeing more of you. We know that you're taking the strides, you're going high, and you keep inspiring us. Thank you so much. Any final words otherwise?
No, just thank you for having me. I think thank you for some things that happened behind, before getting on board. I'm really happy that happened. So maybe it happened today, and then thank you for everyone that watched this and then maybe getting also from it. So I'm really happy. But check out AngleQuest.
Yes, please
Yeah.
do. I'm personally waiting. And check out Patrick also on LinkedIn. AngleQuest is also on LinkedIn. So you can check them out and see the wonderful thing and follow them, follow their work there. Patrick is also on LinkedIn. Please make sure that you follow him. He's really, really very inspiring. So just take it from me. Take it from me. All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you much. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. All right. Bye.
Bye.